Happy Monday. Where is everyone watching from? I see some people already answered. I see Minnesota. Get out of town. What city? Alabama. So fun. Cool. And who here has ever attended a training where people said this is live and you knew deep down in your soul it wasn't live? Anyone experienced that? A few times. So let's see. Today is Monday, October 28th. It's slightly sunny in Minnesota. Um, and I'm actually seeing all of your amazing comments. So who's excited about this? Who here has been really struggling with content creation, getting content to hit, making your content work for you, spending way too much time on content, all of the above. So we're going to be diving in pretty intensely. Are you guys cool with that? There are several things we're going to cover because here's the thing. If just systems worked and were working well enough, who here would already have something that was working? Drop a yes. Who here has watched all the YouTube trainings? Who here has obsessed over webinars and cheat sheets and guides? Who here says, are you in my inbox? Yes. Okay, so we're going to dive into a whole bunch over these 5 days. Just a heads up, if you have not learned with me before, we ramp up as we go on. It gets more and more and more intense. And I'm not going to share something if it's not essential. Cool. So if we dive into something that you might be like, I hate learning about this, like the M word, mindset. Who here's like, I hear that and I cringe internally. We're going to be doing mindset a little bit differently. One of the big things that I'm huge into, if you are new to me, is psychology and how the human brain actually works. Drop a yes if you're like, I can get behind like science. I can get behind like studies. I can get behind things that are proven to work. So this is going to be pretty fantastic and intense. Thanks, Nick. So yes, get a notepad ready. Get something where you can ideally sketch things out because at times I'm going to be pulling out my clipboard and drawing it here. Why? This is more effective and I'm able to use real-time feedback to shift where we're going. Did you catch that? Real-time feedback. So speak up in the chat. If you love something or you say this is maybe like the key I needed or the breakthrough, drop aha in the chat. Everyone test it real fast. AHA, aha in the chat. You got it. And I want to see those ahas come in as they're needed, as they happen. So just a heads up, I'm Rachel Pedersen. I'm the social media strategist for many of the brands, businesses, and public figures that you know and love. I've worked with companies such as Dean Graciosi. I trained Tony Robbins' social media team, ClickFunnels, Metricool, so many other people. I've partnered with some amazing companies like American Express, Square, FabFitFun, and so many more. Now, I don't share all of this to sound awesome. I share all of this because, write down these two words, social proof. Social proof is essential. People want to know, how do I know that I can trust you? How do I know that you can get me results or that your skincare can get me results or X, Y, and Z? Okay, social proof. And we'll dive more into that as we go on. But trust me, it's worth it. 11 years ago, I was a single mom on welfare. Today, we've done over $10 million. My book was published by Hay House, which is so crazy still to me, and it became a USA Today bestseller. I've spoken on pretty much every large stage in this industry, including traffic and conversion, funnel hacking live, social media marketing world, etc. On a bad month, I reach about 5 million people on social, and that's with me doing very, very, very little. Who here says, I want that type of system? Yes, please. I want that type of exponential growth that carries me through the tough months. Drop a me in the chat, by the way, if you have tough months, because I think we all do. And I think a lot of people pretend it doesn't happen to them. Can I get an amen if you feel that? Right? Who here has tough months with kids or pets or family or grief? All of the above. Mental health, it's a real thing. Here's the thing though, and I want to share this. This is so, so big. Please hear me on this. I'm not some superstar with an incredible setup. I have the ability to do it. I've got all the cool stuff. I've got it all. I've had a studio and I didn't use it. I'm not someone who has a massive content team who slam dunks absolutely everything I do. Okay. Drop a yes if you needed that reminder. Oh, and by the way, on a good month, we reach 15 to 50 million people organically. So that's also kind of cool. I'm a mom of three. I have a 14-year-old. It kind of blows my mind to think I'm about to have an adult daughter in 4 years. That like is so weird to think about. I'm bipolar. I'm massively introverted. Drop a yes if any of this is you too. Most days, you guys, I just kind of feel almost like a 16-year-old a little bit, like a nerd, like an outcast, a homebody. My day-to-day life isn't really that interesting, which is why I don't do like a day in the life of a social media strategist. I really try to avoid that type of content. I would rather just wear sweats and not do my makeup most days. So I need a content system and strategy that's going to work for that and support that. Anyone else? I'd rather be spending most of my time with my family, my pets, rather than spending all day focusing on content. Content should not be running your life. Some of you need to write that down. Content should not be running your life. Content should be supporting everything that you do. It should be working for you. Okay. What I'm going to share with you is so important because some of the things I'm going to share have the potential to change the trajectory of your business. I've seen it firsthand. I've helped others do it. If you take action, if you take notes, if you commit yourself to this challenge fully, the difference you will see even in just 5 days is going to be massive. Okay? Who's down? Now, a couple ground rules, just be respectful and kind to everybody. That's a fair rule. I'm going to be focusing on some real issues, some real systems and strategies, some mindset, some psychology, and it's going to all layer together beautifully over these 5 days. Because if watching a YouTube video about content tactics, did you catch that word, tactics, was enough, you would already be thriving, right? Anyone ever stay up late at night and you're like going through YouTube videos and then you watch like 15 different videos from 15 different people and they all say different things, and before you know it, you're spinning and you're like, now I feel absolutely paralyzed. I just spent several hours learning and none of it feels like it applies. And this person said this and this person said the opposite. And then what did Rachel Pedersen say? We're not going to do that anymore. Cool. Let's use that time better. And as much as possible, be engaged. Write down these 2 words, natural learning. Natural learning. Natural learning is what we're all taught to do in school, which means we're used to raising our hand and sharing answers. So when we just watch something passively online, sometimes multitasking with 15 other tabs open, what happens is it's really easy to miss important things, and just a few words can make a difference, which is why we're going to keep this 15 is child's play, 55 tabs. That sounds about right. As much as you can, like minimize tabs. Cool. Because I want you to focus. We'll get right to the important stuff. Now, who here is like, I am tired of watching other people thrive, other people in your industry, other people in similar industries? Have you ever heard about something and you felt like it was the key to growth with your content and you were like, I'll wait until Q1 of next year. I'll wait until life slows down a little bit. I'll wait until I have everything, here's a big one, everything planned out and it's excellent and it's convenient. Any of those words relate? Drop a yes. Okay, so those are some of the reasons that you've been stuck. It's exhausting. It's demoralizing. I get sick of it too. And so when it comes to implementing on social media, you're going to have to set aside some of your perfectionistic tendencies. Ooh. So we're going to actually start with something really different. I hope you guys are cool with this. You may not see yet how it's going to relate to content, but is that cool? You trust me? We'll have a good time. All right. Thinking about content, everything related to it, the planning of it, the strategizing, the writing copy, the filming of videos, the posting, the systems, the workflows, the results of content, how it's been going. I want you to think of 5 emotions that come up regularly for you or decently regularly that are not the best feeling emotions. It could be shame. It could be guilt. It could be so many different things. Annoyance. Yes, Shelby, I love that. Yep. Think of 5 emotions. Disgrace. Yep. Exhaustion. overwhelm, stress, frustration, avoiding, guilt, defeat. Now I want you to write down those 5 words for yourself. Okay? What I'm going to share with you, I spent way too much money learning from therapists, yet it still works for business. And I've spent years learning this. Okay. Tell me if you actually, I'll use a darker marker for this. Okay. So I want you to write down those 5 emotions because you've probably heard me share this before, but if you just try to slap a new hardware, a system onto your content creation process, it doesn't get to the root of things. Does a new computer monitor fix an old operating system? No, unfortunately. Okay, so write down those 5, kind of something like this, okay? So X, Y, Z, A, B. And once you're done, drop done in the chat. Isn't it wild to see like all of these emotions that we all feel at times, especially with content creation? It kind of makes you feel a little less alone, right? I think so. So good, so good. Okay. The next step is, and I'll use, I experience shame. Like I should be doing better than I'm doing. Anyone feel that? I should be so much further along. I see people I started with doing much bigger numbers than me. Okay, so I'm going to start with mine, which is shame. And now for each of those 5 emotions, I want you to write, what is it that you usually do when you feel that? Do you fall down the TikTok hole? Who's discovered that nasty trap? Anybody? Do you like to rot on the couch? Do you order Taco Bell and binge because you're like, oh, I just feel terrible? Taco Bell's a big one for me. Do you oversleep? Sleep in because the shame is too much? So go ahead and write that for each of the 5. What is the action that you do that is probably not improving things? Do you go on Instagram and compare yourself to others? Ooh, or whatever social media platform you absorb most. And once you're done with that, drop done in the chat. Fun true story. So I have pretty strong ADHD, and because of that, sometimes I forget, did I take my meds? And I was like, today, I want to make sure I take my meds, but I can't wait too long. Okay, I'll just take it, but I don't know if I already took it. Definitely took both. So I'm jazzed, a little bit shaky, but super excited. Okay. What are those 5 actions? I'll share a few of mine if you need some like thoughts or inspiration. I'll just disappear from business for 6 hours when I could have been just getting this stuff done. I'll play Mario Kart for way too many hours. I don't dare download Sims. It would just be gone every day. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So you guys have the 5 things that you do that are probably not helping the situation. Beautiful. So this is called, so shame. Let's say I rot on the couch or bed. Okay. So this is called doing the opposite thing. Okay. So if you like to rot in bed, does that usually make you feel more shame? Does the action that you take make you feel more of this? Does it become a negative cycle? By the way, a vortex can go either way. It can go down the drain or it can take you up and elevate everything. Okay. What is the opposite action you could take? Go ahead and write that down now for each of the 5. And there are going to be a lot of different answers here. It could be, I might go on a walk to kind of just feel different, the opposite. Could it be, I'm just going to film those videos that I've been avoiding? I'm finally going to send that proposal. Go ahead and share the 5. And when you're done with that, let me know. And by the way, if you're already done, feel free to let me know yes in the chat if this already feels kind of exciting, because we're going to break through some cycles. It's huge. True story. The stuff that I'm teaching over these 5 days, I didn't share this type of stuff, but I shared the systems and strategies without the reprogramming and mindset stuff to a mastermind that was like $150,000 a year. So everyone in the room was balling. I mean, let's just be honest. And everyone took extensive notes. And like 2 years later, even a year later, I would look at their social and realize they were still in the same place they were before I taught them absolutely everything. Sometimes 2 years later, they would beg me, could you please come do all of this for me? When what I'm sharing is able to be done by a team of 1 or a team of many, or a lot of assistants, which is really cool. It also works for big teams, which is fun. Okay, you guys got the 5 actions. Now, how would that opposite action make you feel? So if I did my to-do list and just knocked it out instead of rotting in bed for 5 hours, how would that make me feel? Go ahead and write your 5 new emotions. For me, it might make me feel productive. All right, go for it. Let me know when you're done with those 5. And in fact, if you want to compile them and put them in the chat, that's awesome too, because you'll see how the earlier feelings will be super contrasted by this second set of feelings and emotions. Productive, courageous, aligned, proud, successful. Empowered, confident, in control, energized, productive, capable, hopeful, interested, courageous, relaxed. These are so good. So good. Happy, calm, innovative, love my life, connected. So good. So good. Anyone see the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once? Where they're stuck in situations. It's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. Hot dog fingers, if you know, you know. But I love this movie. Basically, anytime they're stuck in a situation, they use what are called these like jump pads. And they do something super weird that's completely out of the ordinary or different from the situation. And they jump to different timelines. It's amazing. And I consider this like a jump. If you just do the opposite. Now, question for you, when you look at the 5 emotions from before, the 5 feelings from before, and the 5 from after, who's more likely to be able to take action? Before or after? Who is more likely to be able to create content? Who's more likely to implement without overcomplicating? Some of you have to write down those 2 words, without overcomplicating. Complexity is the enemy of execution. I believe this with all my heart. New me, after. So good, so good. Okay, so with this, I want you to find a way to hang this up close to where you work or create your content. And when you start to feel those emotions come up, I want you to literally say, okay, this is what the old me would do. This is the new me. So I'm going to do the opposite. Drop a yes if you feel it already. This is a big one. Complexity is the enemy of execution or completion. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. You guys cool if we smash some beliefs about content? Because who here, when you start to think like, I need to create content, it's time to get a camera. It's time to take this seriously. It's time to get a fancy mic. It's time to, and it's okay if you have all those things, as long as you know how to use them really, really fluidly. It's time to get a new background. I got to get new clothes. Drop a yes if you felt any of those. So I'm going to share with you guys kind of, it's a joke, but it's two truths and a lie. So I'm going to share some real stories from behind the scenes of masterminds I've been a part of with no names. So we have 3 gurus, okay? And these are all based on real people. 3 so-called experts in the field. Can you spot the lie for each one? Guru 1, we can call him Slicko. He declares in front of everybody, my success is built on excellent, nearing perfect content. Every video, every post is meticulously crafted to perfection. Short form content is a joke. Long form content is the key to success. And anyone using AI for content creation is just lazy. There were a lot of lies in that. Did you catch that? Okay, next we've got guru number 2. I'm going to call her Shadette. Why not? And she confidently states, the key to my content strategy is going viral. It's the ultimate goal. And if you're not spending hours making sure each and every piece of content goes viral, you'll never build a business. Okay. And we have guru number 3, phony baloney, who claims, sorry, I get a little cheesy and punny sometimes. That's like the homeschooled side of me. I achieve all my success with a single VA. We only use fancy cameras because that's all that works. Niching down too much, meaning focusing on a specific topic, will limit your growth. Stick to basic concepts and you'll thrive. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's see who can guess where the lie is. If you had a feeling they all sounded wrong, yep. It all sounded so wrong, didn't it? But yet they're sharing this information. No wonder so many of us have been lost. Drop a yes if you needed this reminder. And they share it publicly. And I know they're lying. And you know how I know? Because I saw one of them sharing on social media that he only had a VA helping him, and he had multiple agencies building his content out for him, spending multiple 5 figures per month, every single month, saying, I just have one little VA, right? It's confusing. So let's dive through some lies and truths. You cool with this? The lie is, and I'm going to try to paste these in all chats. Okay, ready? So the lie is, only perfect or excellent content performs well. And you may have believed some of these, okay? Right? Who feels that way? Like if I want to be successful on social, it has to be absolutely excellent, right? Well, here's the truth for you. Messy action counts and adds up too. Done content is much better than perfect content, okay? Here's the lie. You need to constantly create new content. Truth. Repurposing and recycling content is just as effective. Okay? Unless you're a news agency straight up. But even places like BuzzFeed recycle stuff all the time. Okay? Here's the lie. You have to spend hours all day creating content in order to be successful. Okay? Here's the truth. 20 minutes of consistent action is more effective than 2 hours of planning and strategizing. A lot of people spend 2 hours a day over analyzing all of it, right? Okay, who's already seeing some things where you're getting ahas? Yes. All right. The lie. Going viral equals success. The truth. Going viral does not equal success, especially not in business. I know a lot of people who go viral a lot, and they constantly message me and say, how do you actually make money? How do you actually make money? Okay. Here's the lie. Some of you need this one. More followers mean more success. Ooh. Okay. Who needs this one already? Engagement and connection with your audience are more important than the number of followers. I know someone who had an almost 8-figure business per year, and his email list was less than 8,000 people. That's pretty encouraging, right? All right, the lie, and drop aha if you're getting what you need already. The lie, you need a fancy camera to create content. Unless you're super adept with a fancy camera, it's going to slow you down. Some people are just good at them. I'm not. On my highest months with 50 million views, which usually happens like one time a year, like for a couple months, you guys, I have never used professional equipment or a professional background or a professional mic or professional scripts. Who's getting the hope? Okay. Next lie. The next lie is you need 30 hashtags to go viral, and they're super complicated. The truth about hashtags are that they're actually much simpler than experts lead you to believe. Sometimes fewer hashtags can be more effective. Who here knows that we're going to get into all of these over these 5 days and it's going to ramp up? Who here is feeling like, okay, I'm starting to feel like I could actually do this? Anyone love this already? Okay. The lie. Some people say AI tools can't help with content creation because you can always tell when it's AI. Not true. Not true. And I'll share something that's interesting. AI tools like ChatGPT, Jasper's a little pricey these days compared to the other options, Claude AI, they can augment. Did you catch that? Write that word down, augment the content creation process. I think if people saw the way that I use AI, they'd be like, oh my gosh, you wrote a 4,000 word prompt to get a 1,200 word blog post from your transcription from a video you recorded? Yes. And then I can use it again, which is kind of fun. All right. The next lie, short form video content isn't important. The truth, short form video is crucial and can be used across multiple platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook page, Facebook profile, YouTube Shorts, Threads, LinkedIn, X, if you're still there, all of the above, okay? And side note, question for you, who here has gone to see a movie? Who here regularly goes to see movies without watching a trailer first? Who here watches trailers religiously? Anyone ever spend an evening watching trailers on Amazon? Just trying to find like a good movie because you're like, I don't want to waste my night. And before you know it, it's been like 2 to 3 hours of watching trailers and you're like, well, love you, honey. Good night. Sorry, we didn't get to one. Because the truth is, you guys, people are sick and tired of wasting their time. Can I get an amen? Who here is like, I don't want to go on another webinar if I don't know this person's going to share actual value. I don't want to do a 5-day challenge if I'm not going to experience serious shifts. I don't want to spend a moment of my time, which is even more important than money, right? I don't want to spend any of my time on somebody who doesn't deliver, right? Okay, this one's big. And side note, for those with like mental illness or chronic illness, short form video content, or sorry, ChatGPT can augment your content creation process so that you don't have to put in as much effort when exhaustion is a constant thing. I forgot to share that, but I did want to share that. Okay, next thing. You ready? You can't or shouldn't share personal stories in your business. I have a crazy cool story about this and how to do it really well. Okay. But the truth is, sharing personal stories can humanize your brand and create deeper connections with your audience. I've posted some pretty unhinged stuff and still gotten some pretty great clients. All right, lie. You need to follow trends to be successful. That's actually not true at all. Isn't that awesome? Drop an aha if you've already been getting what you need. Who here's going to go into day 2 for sure freer? We'll still get to some today, but these are so important. Okay. Truth. Being authentic and true to your brand can be more impactful than just mindlessly following trends. But you can do trends too. They're super fun. The lie. Success in content creation happens overnight. Truth. Growth on social media is a result of consistent effort over time. And it does expand, expound, it grows. It can even hockey stick. And we don't know when the hockey stick is ever going to be. A fantastic book on this is The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. And that book shifted everything. I'll give you the quick synopsis. You don't actually need to be seen by millions of people in order to absolutely take off. Sometimes it's just a matter of 100, 200, or 1,000 people who rave about you for something to absolutely go viral and take off, experience contagion. Cool? That's called the hockey stick effect. Okay. The lie. Are you ready for this? Who here says I'll create content when I feel confident? Drop a yes. I don't feel confident. I can't do it. The lie. Certainty is the same thing as confidence. Oh, did you catch that? Certainty is the same thing as confidence. The truth. Certainty is showing up positive and committed, even if you're not confident about the outcome. Did you catch that? One is what I can control, and one is a byproduct. If I allowed my confidence to be dictated by anything in business or marketing, I don't think I'd be a very confident person. But I can be certain that I'm going to show up. Did you catch that? I can be certain that I'm going to post the video. I can be certain that I'm going to share something new outside my comfort zone, regardless of whether or not you feel confident. All right, we have a couple more. Here's the lie. Content creation is only for extroverts, popular people, the congenial ones, the funny ones, the most interesting ones, the most brilliant ones, all the superlatives. Did anyone get a most in their yearbook? Like most likely to, feel free to drop it in the chat. I always find it so interesting who gets what, right? I got most musical. Okay, truth. Introverts, weirdos, nerds, people who are a little bit different can absolutely create powerful and engaging content by leveraging their unique strengths. Did you catch that? You don't want to try to create content the way I do. Cool? Okay. Here's the lie. So this is interesting because a lot of people talk about niching. Who here's heard like niche, niche, niche? So I have a weird dual relationship with this one. So niching down too much will limit your audience. Thing is, having a specialty as you're trying to get momentum. Did you catch that? Write that down. As you're trying to get momentum, can help you stand out. The difference is niching is based on who you want to serve. So if I say, I only want to help men with beards, that's niching. If I say, I only want to help mothers with 7 kids, that's niching. Okay? Specializing is, here's what I bring to the world. This is my specialty. I'm a brain surgeon. It doesn't matter if you're 7 or 87. The demo doesn't matter because I didn't niche. Got it? Okay, beautiful. So the next one, the lie. You need to be on every social media platform. Please knock this one off. If you're trying to do this, it's exhausting. I've done it for years. I am so tired of being on every platform. I'm about to axe my platform list by half, but I don't because I still like to teach on what's working on each platform. So, okay. It's exhausting for big teams. Did you catch that? Focus on the platforms where your audience is most active, AKA kind of do a matrix of these are the platforms I like the best to use and create for. And these are the platforms where my audience is most engaged, where they're showing up, they're saying yes, they're interested, all of the above. And then try to find that sweet spot between them. For example, who here has ever posted something on TikTok and on Instagram, and then you were shocked by which platform it performed on? Don't fight a platform that's not growing, unless you just have fun there. Cool? Okay. The lie. Have you ever seen somebody say, short form content is dead, long form content is dead, webinars are dead, video is dead, live streams are dead? Who's ever seen that? People say don't post this anymore, only post this. That's so not true. The truth is, different types of content can perform well. It depends on your audience and how you present it. So, question for you. Does anyone here prefer video? Drop a yes in the chat if you do. Yep, people say blogs are dead, lead magnets are dead. Don't listen to anyone who says that things are dead, because the only thing that's dead is their ability to expand their mind. Okay? So, who here learns best from specifically short form video? Highly edited, jump cuts, attention resets, all of the above. And who here learns best from long form written content? Beautiful. We all learn in different ways. I love reading. I'm a huge fan of reading. I will sit down with long form posts that are filled with value any day, or stories. Every day I do that. But I'm less likely to watch YouTube videos and pay attention. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to share the real-time truth because even my answer to this truth has changed. So the lie, you must have a rock-solid content calendar planned months in advance. Yes and no. You want to have a foundational plan in place with room to be inspired, excited, adjust. The truth is, you want to have room to adjust things. Does that sound pretty good so far? Yes. Amazing. So good. Okay. So, question for you all. Who here is willing to do something that might feel basic? I would love to see all yeses. Are you guys cool with going back to a basic here? I've taught this for years and people still are like, that's just so basic. Yeah, it works really well. Are you guys cool with diving into the basic foundational content that every business owner is going to want to have? You cool with that? So even if you've watched this before, it's time to do it again and implement it this time. Cool? All right. Yes or no, are you in specifically an industry that changes a lot? For example, Social media changes all the time. Yes, 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 no, no. Yes, 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 no, no, no. Yes, no, no. Joe's Dairy Bar? No, that's amazing. I always get jealous of people who are in industries that don't change often, or the ones that are like fully evergreen, because it's gorgeous. So gorgeous. Okay, so if you are in real fast, everyone knows that if it doesn't change often, it's evergreen. Cool. So if you are in an evergreen industry, you can batch this process. And you can batch this process more than you would even realize. Something that shifted my entire like thought process of where we wanted to go with our business was watching Nikocado Avocado. Does anyone know who he is? Nikocado Avocado. So he's this guy who's been posting these videos of just like mukbang, like eating a lot of a food, high calorie, trying to gain a ton of weight. Okay. And after 2 years of him seemingly gaining weight for 2 years, one video a week or one every other week, suddenly he goes on YouTube and shares a video of him having dropped like 150 pounds. And everyone's like, wait, what? Last week you posted a video and you didn't look like this. And he basically, it was really creepy, but he was like 2 steps ahead. I'm 2 steps ahead. I recorded 2 years worth of videos and then I lost the weight behind the scenes. And now here I am. Now, the reason I share this is you can do that if you are evergreen. If the basics don't change, who's going to try this, by the way? Batching things out. Who here would actually be okay with spending a couple of days filming all of the videos you needed for the next year? That is your foundational content. It doesn't work as well for ever-changing or non-evergreen industries unless you are talking about something that is evergreen. So for example, the difference between here's how to use threads, not evergreen, because it's going to change next week, guaranteed, versus the psychology of viral content. Psychology doesn't change as much, which is beautiful. Okay, drop a yes if you're following. All right. 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I had this funny gut feeling that I was supposed to slow down to speed up, to go back to the basics. I had, made several million in the business. And technically, some people, like most people, kind of knew who I was. But I was like, I just am feeling like my traction on social, on content isn't working. Drop a yes if you've had some success and you're like, why is my content not working? So it can feel kind of like weird to take a step back or to go back to basics. A coach told me that I needed to go and pick 10 to 20 people who were in similar or adjacent industries to me, including Gary Vaynerchuk and Marie Forleo and all the people we all know, and go through year by year with the Wayback Machine and Google and identify what they did every single year for the last 15 years. This was a crazy experiment, okay? It's very time consuming, so you don't necessarily have to do it because I'll tell you, I found an incredible pattern. Who's ready for it? The pattern across the board was the year that they all blew up, the year that they got tons of press, the year that they were on stages, the year that suddenly people started to really know who they were, was within 12 months of when they started producing basic how-to content. Write this down. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. I promise it'll get more and more advanced with the systems and strategies. And this can be really tough when you feel like you're taking steps backwards, right? To be like, here's how to film a YouTube video. Here's how to, here's where to source organic milk from local farmers. Here's how to, etc. It's like, it's humbling, okay? So I decided to follow that process. And I'll share with you what happened. We were in Vegas, not for fun, for a conference. I would never go to Vegas for fun. No offense to anyone who likes it. I don't like it. So we were in this hotel room and I wrote the first blog that night and I created the first content pieces, and I recorded the first YouTube video on this framework. And I'm going to share this with y'all. I hope that's cool. Okay, we're going to look at my most popular videos of all time. And it's cool because we're redoing this whole process now. So check this out. How to edit TikTok video, 3 million views. How to get verified on TikTok, 811,000 views. Okay, how to go live on TikTok. And like the first top ones are about TikTok because it was relevant at that time. But there were some that did really, really well related to Instagram. 20 time management tips for working moms that actually work. How to get verified on Instagram in 2023. This is the one I recorded in the hotel room. You can see. Question for you. Does this look like professional video? No. Obviously, we have this little B-roll trailer thing. Does this look like professional editing on the actual video? Or does that look like I just threw it into a pretty cheap software? Pretty cheap software. Okay. Who here's getting inspired? Getting ready? Okay. I hope you guys are cool because each day we're going to ramp up. This is foundational. Okay. So what I want you to do is to get clear on what is your umbrella specialty. Now, here's a big hint. What you become known for versus all the things you offer might be different. Okay? What you become known for might be different than all the things you do, all the services you offer. What is the juiciest specialty that pulls people in consistently? So for me, it was TikTok, and I led heavily into that for a while. Lately, it's been a little more content creation and psychology and hooks. And we're refining exactly what that looks like together because we've got some really fun plans with it. Okay, identify your specialty. Drop it in the chat. Okay. From there, I want you to come up with 12 subtopics within that. And you're all going to have homework. I hope that's cool. Anyone like homework? Anyone going to implement right after? I'd love to see yeses. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, so 12 subtopics. 12, oh my gosh, 12 subtopics. Forget you, Vivance. Okay, so the specialty. If my specialty was TikTok, which it was for a long time, and I did this viral framework for this, then my 12 topics could be hashtags, could be captions, it could be trending sounds, how to film or edit videos. It could be going live. It could be TikTok shop, monetization. You could also do it, some of them based on niches. So you could do TikTok for real estate, TikTok for coaches, TikTok for beauty brands. Here is where you can add niches into your 12 subtopics. Okay. What do you do if your specialty is needed, but people don't want to think about it? Family caregiving is my specialty. So people are only going to be searching for family caregiving when they're in that position. Does that make sense? When they're in need. It's rare that people think ahead. It's usually the parents that think ahead. So you either would do some of your videos for, or your content for the parents planning ahead, or some for the child who's trying to figure things out in an active need. Cool? All right. So drop a yes if you understand the 12 subtopics. Beauty. Now, even if you've done this before, your answers might have changed. I redo this every year, sometimes twice a year, as things change. Cool? You'll want to redo this even if you have done it before. Even if you've implemented it and it's gone fantastically well. Okay? Then from there, you're going to come up with 30 most asked questions for each of the 12. Question for you guys. Out of the room of 15 entrepreneurs who paid $150,000 to be in that mastermind, where this was one small thing that I taught, and we're going to be going through all of them over these 5 days, how many of them do you think actually implemented this? None. People were begging me to do this for them. And you can do it pretty quickly. None. And still wondering why they weren't reaching the numbers that I was reaching. Right? But you guys are, who's going to be different than that? Who says that was 150,000, I'm here for cheap or less than 100 for the VIPs, right? And you say, I'm going to be different than that. I'm going to take action. This is my secret advantage. Did you catch that? This is my secret advantage. Beautiful. Okay, so if you do nothing else over the next 24 hours, this is amazing. Who's an overachiever? Like the ones where you're like, and done, and now like I did 7. Okay. Who likes to kind of get that like validation of being like, I went above and beyond over the last 24 hours. Feel free. So I'm going to show you how to get those questions. This is one of the most important things you can do for your business. Okay. So we're going to look in 2 places. And let me share my screen with you. So one is free and one is cheap. Okay. I'll show you the cheap one first. When Neil Patel bought this, he changed it from like $99 a month to $99 lifetime or $9 a month. I think that's still the same pricing. It's amazing. Neil Patel revolutionized Answer the Public when he purchased it, and I was so impressed. Okay, check this out. You ready? So in Answer the Public, they compile all of the frequently most Googled questions. What this means is you get to hop into, are you ready for it? The conversation already going on in your dream clients' and customers' brains without even having to ask them what they want to know. Who here wants to hop into the conversation already happening in people's brains? This is a huge part of the reason why people say, Rachel, get out of my brain. How did you know? Because I do a lot of research. I love to see how people are feeling, what they're experiencing. I want to hop into the conversation. I'm not going to tell you, you need to be a celebrity. Because who here would be like, no, thanks. I don't need you need to be a celebrity workshop. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop something in here. We'll just do TikTok for fun. So I can search for TikTok, and it just takes a moment, and it's going to compile for me all the top most Googled questions related to TikTok. Okay. Look at that gorgeousness. You can download it as a CSV and then pick your favorite questions. Don't use repeat ones unless they're pretty different. If I wanted to do TikTok hashtags, I can. If it's something that's really niched down, it might be hard to find the right combos of words. Like if it's how to get your cows to produce the most milk in the winter in Wisconsin, it's going to be kind of hard to find here. The other option will be better. So check that out. Fantastic questions. With just a few searches, we can get everything that we need. Okay. The second place that you are going to want to look, let me stop my share just in case I looked for anything inappropriate last night. Oh no, we're good. Does anyone go on like when you're writing or whatever, you look up some pretty inappropriate stuff? Okay, so let's go ahead and look up TikTok hashtags. I think if the FBI ever looked at my search history from the books that we work on at night, they would be like, right here, this one. We got to take her in. Okay, so what hashtags are popular on TikTok? Do hashtags actually help on TikTok? How to go viral on TikTok hashtags. But check this out. If you expand and contract these, more pop up. Only expand and contract the ones that are related to what you want to talk about. What are successful hashtags on TikTok? And you can do this. There's not a limit to how many times you can do this. And then you can compile the answers. It's kind of hard to copy and paste, but you can. and it's formatted ugly, but you can always fix the formatting. Okay. So I keep this. By the way, drop aha in the chat if something's hitting differently for you today. Who's starting to feel excited? Who feels hope? How are you feeling actually today? Even just from day one. Okay. So I just usually, I'll sometimes put them into a doc like this, but I've been making it less complicated lately, which has been really nice. So I'll show you. So here's like all of it kind of put together really nicely, but it's because it's being presented to a client. So kind of cool. But this is just how I do it. I just put all of them here and I'll do 30 at a time. And then I'll right click or control click this and just randomize it until I like the order. Beautiful. So this is one of my old ones. Drop a yes if this feels like simplicity. Drop a yes if this makes sense. Drop a yes if you are excited. Drop a yes if you're going to take action. Drop a yes if you know that this is just the beginning. This is just the foundation to get you going. Drop a yes if you've been meaning to do something like this for a while. I love it. All right. I won't be sharing my client's file in the group. The file is literally just a Google spreadsheet. So just open a Google spreadsheet and just paste them. Cool. All right. I will catch you guys later, and VIPs, let's stay on maybe 10 minutes break, or do you need 5 or 10? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. And to everyone else, I'll see you later. Tomorrow, take action. Okay, bye for now. Okay, VIPs, fun day. Permission to ramp up as needed. Answer any questions, all questions. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so let's just take 5 minutes. Feel free to go pee, grab new notes, do something. Amazing. I do have one thing I'll share with the VIPs that's pretty cool. Actually, I have a few things. I'll keep ramping up, which is going to be awesome. All right, I'll see you guys in 5 at